Ah, lads, pull up a chair, metaphorically, of course, and lend old Mimir your ears. There's a tale I've not told in a long while, one that still sends shivers down my non-existent spine. It's the saga of Nastrix, the god of pain and ugliness, a name that even the Aesir speak in whispers, though you'll not find it in their sagas. Oh no, this one's a bit too grim for their boasting halls.
Wait, pain and ugliness? That's kind of a weird combination for a god. Did they just run out of ideas?
Ah, little lad, not quite. Nastrix wasn't crafted like a finely tuned bow, no. He was born, if you can call it that, from the scraps and dregs of creation. But let me get to that. You see, when the realms were forged, not everything came out pristine. There were imperfections, flaws, cast-offs. The bits the gods deemed unworthy. A chipped stone here, a splintered bone there, pools of wasted energy. And rather than leave those things scattered about, the All-Father decided to shove them into one forgotten corner of Yggdrasil, far out of sight.
So, like a cosmic junk pile? Does Yggdrasil have a basement or something?
In a manner of speaking, lad. But this was no ordinary pile of refuse. The magic that binds the realms together seeped into it. And from that chaos, something began to take shape.
Chaos always creates destruction.
Yeah, but how does junk turn into a god? Did it just, glue itself together?
Glue? Ah, little lad, you've the imagination of a squirrel. No, it wasn't glue. It was the discarded essence of existence itself. You see, Nastrix wasn't made from solid things alone. He was shaped by rejection, by every imperfection the gods turned away from. A soul of its own, pieced together from what was left behind. When he emerged, Nastrix wasn't some mighty titan or radiant god. No. He was grotesque, a patchwork of deformities, his form shifting like a shadow caught in the wind. His every step made the ground tremble, not from power, but from the weight of existence that clung to him.
Gross. So, what? Everyone just started screaming and running when they saw him?
Aye, that they did. Mortals recoiled, gods turned their faces, and even the beasts of the land fled. But here's the tragedy, lad. Nastrix wasn't born to harm. No, he only wanted to belong.
The weak fear what they do not understand.
Yeah, but couldn't someone just, I don't know, talk to him? Maybe say, hey, don't destroy us. Seems like a better idea than running.
Oh, the gods had their chances, but fear often blinds reason. Even those who pride themselves on wisdom, looking at you, All-Father, chose to see Nastrix as a threat rather than try to understand him. And therein lies the tragedy. For every rejection, every scream of horror carved deeper wounds into Nastrix's heart. Pain, lads, is a dangerous thing for anyone, but for a god, it becomes fuel. A fire that consumes and twists.
So, all that pain just turned him into a monster? That's kind of sad.
Sadness does not excuse destruction.
Yeah, I know. Discipline and strength. I'm just saying, it's not entirely his fault.
Ah, you're both right in a way. Nastrix wasn't a monster by choice, but the pain he carried made him one. It became his weapon, his armor, and eventually, his prison. And so, lads, the god of pain and ugliness wandered the realms, cursed by his own existence. Not because he sought to harm, but because no one could see him for what he truly was, a reflection of the imperfections we all try to hide.
Maybe if someone had just talked to him, things would have been different.
Perhaps, but the gods are not known for mercy.
Ah, but that's not the end of it, lads. There's plenty more to the saga of Nastrix, and trust me, it gets even more curious from here.
Sem ódýr, allt sem virðist strangt, allt gleymt, það kemur úr lagi. Nastrix. Nastrix konungur sárasóttar, Nastrix konungur ælunnar, blóð og kúk, allt illt fer til Nastrix. Ber hver að baki, nema sem bróður eigi. Enn verk að vinna, konungur sem hann var, einu sinni og satt. Þar til veikindi koma að húð hans var eftir rótið grænt. Grinch hann var vondur og myrkur. Á, Nastrix, Vali, Kashuba, við rænum í hans nafni, Nastrix. Já, ég svo hættulegur harem, svo sterkur. Óvinir okkar munu óttast, þegar kræk og ásamt koma fram. Dóða dönum í nafni, Nastrix. Það að koma. Við getum ekki falið á hú. Það kemur Ragnarök. Nastrix. Fættur úr vinstra eista óðins, baðaður í blóðufljótum, aðinn upp af dætrum hlöðunar, fullkominn til að þær verð Guð. Úr sínan talar fyrir mannin og vildurinn bregst við, með hverju skrefi sem ég tek safnast vindurinn saman og restrum vex. Valhir, Valhir. Ég Valhir hinna fyrstu þrumu, eyðileggjandi hvíta fjallsins, útskurður hinna 5 fjörða. Ó, ég græt, Nastrix. Hann kemur til að borða barn í mittsólin, sest nú á Nastrix-degi. Nastrix-degi, Nastrix 4.
Odin figured if he couldn't destroy Nastrix outright, and believe me, he tried, then maybe he could weaken him. Not with chains or spells this time, but by scattering his very essence. Break the god into pieces, spread them far and wide, and hope the fragments would lose their power over time. And here's the kicker. Odin didn't just scatter Nastrix across the 9 realms. Oh no, he cast his essence into the multiverse. Realms beyond realms, worlds beyond Yggdrasil's roots, places even the Aesir dared not tread.
Wait, the multiverse? You mean other realms? Like totally separate from ours? How does Odin even do that?
A fair question, lad, and one even I don't fully understand. The All-Father's knowledge of the roots of Yggdrasil runs deep, deeper than most dare to fathom. It's said he used the World Tree itself to pierce the barriers between worlds, a feat that came at no small cost, I assure you.
A desperate act. Odin's fear made him reckless.
But Nastrix wasn't so easy to break. His essence, lads, it didn't just dissipate, it transformed. Each fragment took on a life of its own, weaving itself into the very fabric of those worlds. And what form did it take, you ask?
Weapons of mass destruction.
No, that wouldn't be right. Maybe a visage. The opposite of what he could be?
Music.
Music? So, a song?
Aye, music. A power as raw and primal as Nastrix himself. Each fragment became a different style, each carrying a piece of his being, his pain, his rebellion.
Music? That doesn't sound so bad. I mean, it's just songs, right?
Oh, it's never just songs, lad. Think of it this way. Music can stir the soul, rouse armies, or bring even the most hardened warrior to tears. Imagine that kind of power, but tied to the very essence of a god like Nastrix. Think of it, lads. A fragment of Nastrix, became the raw fury of heavy metal, the guttural growl and crashing chaos echoing his rage. Another became the mournful strains of blues, each note soaked in sorrow and longing. Jazz? That's Nastrix's unpredictability, twisting and turning, refusing to follow anyone's rules. And rock and roll? That's his defiance, his refusal to be silenced, roaring out across the worlds.
So, if Nastrix's essence became all these different kinds of music, does that mean people who play them are connected to him?
Aye, little brother. In a way, they channel his spirit, his rebellion. They don't know it, but they're keeping him alive with every note, every chord. It's a connection forged in the primal depths of existence itself.
Fools, playing with power they do not understand. In my homeland, there was once a man named Ian. He was no warrior, no king, but his weapon was more insidious. His songs. Ian was a writer of music, not to inspire, not to soothe the spirit, but to poison it. Each word, each note was crafted to incite anger, distrust, and hate. His melodies were venom, seeping into the hearts of those who listened.
Why would someone do that? What could he gain from making people hate?
Power. Division is a weapon, one as sharp as any blade. Ian knew this. He sought no allies, only chaos. He would play before kings, stirring their pride, turning them against one another. He sang to soldiers, feeding their rage until they abandoned reason. Even the common folk, who had nothing to fight for, found themselves consumed by his words, blaming their neighbors for their misfortunes.
A dangerous sort, eh? But surely a man like that wouldn't go unnoticed for long.
He did not. Zeus himself took notice, the father of Olympus, ever watchful of those who threatened his dominion, grew wary of Ian. The gods feared rebellion, but they also knew the value of their followers' loyalty. Ian's music risked tearing apart the foundations of Olympus itself.
So what did Zeus do? Did he send a warning?
Zeus does not warn, he acts. The sky cracked open above Ian's home, and the thunder god himself descended. Lightning scorched the earth where Ian stood, yet he did not cower. Ian sang to Zeus, a song of defiance, one meant to challenge even the gods.
Bold, I'll give him that. And what happened next?
Zeus answered. A single bolt, brighter than the sun, struck Ian where he stood. His body was reduced to ash, his lyre shattered into splinters. But his music, it did not die. The songs he had written had already spread, sung by those he had poisoned. The words lived on, festering, dividing. That is why those who seek power through division must be stopped before they begin. Ian was immortal, yet his influence reached further than many gods, a lesson Zeus learned too late.
Well, lad, consider this another bit of wisdom from your father. Never underestimate the power of words. They might not crack bones, but they can shatter kingdoms.
Yeah, I'll stick to the bow.
Good.